Shalom, Yasha'Allah. First and foremost, I'm going to get all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash, the abundance of our apostles and elders, a great millstone, of Ruel, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that puts this great gospel in sincerity and truth. This is Brother Tazakai Yahweh from the great millstone, Indianapolis camp, coming at you another lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Lord willing, be edifying. Got an article here from CNN.com, and it reads, NASA announces team of scientists who will study mysterious UFO events in the sky. And this article came out Monday, October 24th, 2022, the year Yahweh Bashim Shai turned it up. And right here, it says, well, let me see if I can play this real quick. Because normally when I do this, it doesn't end well. Let's see. As I assumed. So, we're just going to refresh that in. Is it going to play? So pretty much as you can see right there that they got locked on their radar, so you can't see it, but yeah, nonetheless, this is, let's see, okay, it says right here, CNN officials at NASA selected a team of 16 scientists and experts who will delve into the mystery surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, more properly known as unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. The independent study kicked off Monday, which we could call them IFOs because they are identified flying objects. As a matter of fact, even today, as I was taking my walk, of course, I seen one, flying around, and then when I went out to let the dog out, maybe 30 minutes to an hour ago, see one flying by, and it just, the spirit just had got on me, that, just encouraged me to go ahead and do this, But it says, to the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So it says, the group will include experts across numerous disciplines, including astrobiology, data science, oceanography, genetics, policy, and planetary science, as well as retired NASA astronaut Scott Kelly, a former fighter pilot and test pilot and retired U.S. Navy captain. It says the space agency, which first announced it was forming a group in June, previously revealed that the team would be led by astrophysicist David Spergel, who was president of the Simons Foundation in New York City. The new group won't necessarily seek to determine exactly what the UAPs, which have been seen moving through restricted military airspace over the past several decades, or rather the team will look to hash out exactly how it's best for NASA to approach further study of the phenomena. The space agency has already noted that the limited number of observations of UAPs has made it difficult to draw significant scientific conclusions about the nature of such events. Without access to an extensive set of data, it is nearly impossible to verify or explain any observation. Thus, the focus of the study is to inform NASA what possible data could be collected in the future to scientifically discern the nature of UAPs, according to a NASA news release. But guess what? The prophets of Yahweh Bashim Shai has been discerning what they are through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai. But, we get knocked as, crazy people, bugged out and all this and that and the other. But, hey, at the end of the day, the message ultimately is going to go to elect. And definitely those who, the naysayers and those who, mock and scoff us, you're going to be met with the full force of those UAPs or so-called UFOs when Yahushua HaMashiach pull up with them. Trust and believe that. It says, there have been several studies of UAPs carried out by various arms of the U.S. government, including the Pentagon report that was declassified in June 2021, though none have given the public a clear answer about what the UAPs could be. Officials at NASA have been thinking about how to study UAPs in a formal way for a long time, but they wanted to ensure that they approached it in the right way, said Thomas Zurbuchen, NASA's Associate Administrator of Science Mission Directorate, in June. This study, expected to last about 9 months, will also be entirely unclassified and within the public domain. Because there's no reason to keep, to hide it, because various people around the entire world they got their own phones. You're in the technology age, so you can't keep lying and lying and lying. We got all these people showing proof about, man, this is some unidentified flying around the sky. Even the military, people in those militaries who was told to keep on the hush mode, guess what? It's so It's so like nerve wracking and scary until that they have no choice. Really, the Lord's put the spirit in them to speak out against it, right? It says exploring the unknown in space and the atmosphere is at the heart of who we are at NASA. Zerbuchin said in the Friday statement, understanding the data we have surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena is critical to helping us draw scientific conclusions about what is happening in our skies. Data is the language of scientists and makes the unexplainable explainable. It says, specifically, the team will look for data on events in the sky that cannot be identified as aircraft or known natural phenomena. From scientific perspective, the agency said, unidentified aerial phenomena are of interest. NASA said, from a security and safety perspective, there was no evidence UAPs are extraterrestrial in origin. NASA emphasized during the initial announcements in June. So what are they then? You said that they did not. There's no evidence that they are. Well, obviously, there's no evidence that they are terrestrial, right? These then they don't show. Oh man, they didn't show evidence as far as what when they was like it was one that I think it was one like flying near one or whatever. I guess a fighter jet was flying somewhere. Then they seen it pull up on it. It pulled up on it right to the next to it. Then went like they said it went 10 times the speed of light, like this fast, going up, down, going side, side, this and that. Like nothing that ever been seen on Earth before. So you can't don't like what they want to do is keep dumbing down the people and then want to spread any fear because they're gonna lie to you and say, well, there's no evidence that it's extraterrestrial, but it's doing things that nothing terrestrial can do. Put two and two together, right? It says, and again, the men of the Lord through the Spirit of the power of Yahweh Shai is telling you who they are. But again, the spiritual eyes, the spiritual ears are only going to be open amongst the people are those of the elect of the nation of Israel. Not the body of believers, all these people that vocab alone say can just, I could blah up, Jeebus is my Lord Savior and I can be saved. That's not going to happen. Right? It says the space agency has long been tasked with finding life elsewhere, which is why astrobiology programs are part of its focus. The Mars Perseverance rover is currently searching for signs of ancient life that may have existed on the red planet, while future missions are being developed to seek signs of life on ocean worlds and our solar systems. Here it is. You have a national security threat in regards to the chariots if you knew what they were. Here it is, you trying to find out their life on other different places. Ultimately, they want to try to leave, but they can't, right? But at the end of the day, the elites, they know what they are, but they're not going to tell the people in order to scare them, to keep that, to keep everything under control, so to speak. It says the agency will approach the UAP study like it would any other scientific study, taking a field that is poor in data and making it worthy of scientific investigation and analysis. There's many times where something that looked almost magical turned out to be a new scientific effect, of course, Zerbuchin said in June. Given the national security and air safety issues that have been raised with UAP, scientists want to look at the observations and establish if these are natural or need to be explained otherwise. Talking about UAPs in the traditional science environment may be looked down on or regarded as something not related to science, but Zerbuchan has said he vehemently opposes that. I really believe that the quality of science is not only measured by the outputs that come behind it, but also the questions we're willing to tackle with science, he said earlier this year. Like NASA's other standard grant review panels, the budget estimated for this project is between tens of thousands of dollars and no more than $100,000, said Daniel Evans, the Assistant Deputy Associate Administrator for Research at NASA's Science Mission Directorate. From the outset, it's difficult to anticipate what the study will reveal. We should be open to the idea that we're looking at several different phenomena, Spurgeon said earlier this year. I think we have to approach all these questions with a sense of humility, Spurgeon said. I spent most of my career as a cosmologist. I can tell you, we don't know what makes up 95% of the universe. They're the devil speaks true. So there are things we don't understand. I hope this study moves us forward to understanding these phenomena better, but at the end of the day, we may conclude that we still don't understand many aspects of them and perhaps have a roadmap on how to make progress. The only progress you're gonna make is when you actually find out when you find out what they are when they get exposed to. Is the only progress you're gonna be made is your accelerated time period of being thrown into slavery after you're being destroyed if you're heathens. That's the only thing you're gonna make progress is what is, falling down hard with the rest of your kinsmen, you Edomites and the rest of you heathens. That's what you're gonna make progress in. But again, reading the title, it says what? NASA announces team of scientists who will study mysterious UFO events in the sky. Well, as I said through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, see the men of the Lord, the ones who the ones who you call disgruntled niggas, Section 8, got all the baby mama, all this and that, the ones you speak down, talk down upon, say you crazy, they bugged out. They have the answer, Sway. You don't. But it don't matter if you believe it or not. It is what it is. You understand? This is Psalm chapter 68, verse 17. The chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? Those UAPs, those unidentified flying objects. The chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shai are 20,000, even thousands of what? Angels. That's what they are up there flying. You talking about they're unidentified? They're angels. That's what they are. Our brothers up there, right? The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is among them as in the Sinai in the holy place. Because guess what? Our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai HaMashiach going to pull up in a so-called UAP as well. And it's going to be as big as a mountain, bigger than the mountain. Right? And Lord, will we get those scriptures to prove that point as well? Right? So understand that those chariots are what? They're angels up there. They're not no green man with big ass heads, 3 eyes and four fingers and 3 foot tall. No, they're not the grays, the greens, the reptilian. No, they're not that. They're angels. Then you get in Ezekiel chapter 1, and it's tell you what, that these angels are what? Dark skinned. Like the scriptures describe the Israelites, like it described Yahweh, like it described Yahweh Shai, dark skinned, right? Go a little further in Psalms. Psalm chapter 104, verse 3. Who laid the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walk upon the wings of the wind. And how can you walk upon the wings of the wind? You're flying. That's what that means. And what's flying up there? What they call UFOs, the chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? This is what we understand. This is what we understand because why? These chariots are coming for 2 things. One thing is to do what? To save the elect. But the other ultimate thing is they come to do to destroy and to fight against the nations of this world and destroy those and render death and destruction to all those who are allotted to receive that judgment. They come to fight and make war. That's going to be led by who? Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. This is Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 8. Give you a little snippet of what they going to do. Was Yahweh Shemel Shai displeased against the rivers? Was thy anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea that they didst ride upon thy horses and thy chariots of salvation? Yeah, see, when they come, it's not going to be a light thing. It ain't going to be sweet. It ain't going to be like, let's get on the Ferris wheel and just ride around and it's going to be okay and cool. Let's go to the merry-go-round. No, they come as a destructive and devastating force. Like, again, as I should have said, they're going to war. Not coming over here, for y'all to, like the Mickey Mouse Club. Everybody, hey, you give us $1, y'all can get in and fly with us. No, they coming to destroy this place and to fight against the armies of this world, right? First and foremost against Esau and them, and then everybody else who's gonna turn around and try to fight them. They gonna get obliterated, right? And let's prove this real quick. At one point, Revelation chapter 1 verse 7, it say, "Behold, he who is this he? This Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." Right? Behold, he cometh with clouds. What? Remember, say he make the clouds his chariots. It say, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. Right? Well, you think it's people 2,000 years old waiting to be, identified as those who pierced him? No, this proves what? Reincarnation. They coming back into the flesh. That same spirit in the new flesh, but they the same individuals that pierced him. And all kindreds of the earth shall wail. Why is they wailing? Isn't this supposed to be a great and glorious time and happy time, and everybody's gonna be saved, and the harp's gonna be playing, and it's gonna be rainbows, and it could have been a rainy day, and everything's gonna go clear, lollipops and roses and Pegasus and Nimbus clouds flying everywhere. Everybody's gonna be saved. No, that's not written nowhere. They're gonna be well because why? He coming to render death and destruction to this place. Trust and believe that. As a matter of fact, let's get it. Revelation 19. This is not a game. It's not a joke. We're gonna get these people, and we're gonna get these scientists. And we're gonna find out if this. No, you're gonna find out that you're going to you gonna fight. That's what you're gonna have to do. This is let's get to it. The coming of who? Mashiach. This how he coming. Revelation 19 verse 11. And I saw heaven opened. Right, so the clouds gonna crack, and behold a white horse. Now we understand white meaning what? Purity, and the horse meaning power. And he that sat upon him, which is going to be what? A chariot. And he that sat upon him was called what? Faithful and true. And in righteousness, he doeth what? Judge and make war. That's what Yahweh HaMashiach is coming to do, to judge and make war. His eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. Why was there many crowns? That's just showing the similitudes of what? The nations that he going to take down. And he had no name, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And that people was, look, y'all don't know the name. You know, no, that's just talking about his reputation. He's coming in his full reputation that Yahweh, the Father, is going to give unto him, right? It say, and he was what's it say? And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of Yahweh Shemashah, because he is the Word. That's what we say, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. Right? And they say, well, then they say, well, the Word was with God and the Word was made flesh. Going to what, John chapter 1, right? It's talking about Yahweh HaMashiach. It says, and like, so don't get wrong, he's not going to get blood on himself. It's just telling you that when he come, man, it's going to be a bloody sight. Going to be a bloody scene. Say, what, the blood should be up to the horse's bridle. Read Isaiah 63. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Yahweh HaMashiach, verse 14. It says, and the armies which were in heaven, right? Those are the armies that you be seeing, those UFOs or UAPs. Those are part of his armies, which were in heaven, follow him upon what? White horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, right? It's going to be what? Those concentrated laser beams, that with it he should do what? Pat the nation on the back, hold their hands, walk with them. No, smite. What does smite mean? We play, some of my brothers be on the game. We play, you know, Xbox sometimes we play a game called Smite. Let's see how you say that.
Strong's G 3960. Patasso. Patasso.
It's like I didn't hear it. So was that patasso, or whatever? It says to knock, or with a weapon, or fatally smite, strike. You say what? To smite down, cut down, to kill, to stroke, smite with the sword, to afflict, to visit with evil. That's what Yahweh Shemashai, ascended his son to do, to kill these people. To smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. After he smite them and put them underneath his foot, he gonna rule them with a rod of iron. Start with, from Yahweh, like Yahweh Shai, King David, the rest of the 12 and the rest of the 144,000 on down. We gonna be in rulership after he come and smite these nations. And ruling with a rod of iron ain't gonna be sweet. Right? Now it's a way to do it according to the law, but y'all gonna get bashed in their heads just like how y'all did us. Just like how y'all beat y'all ways into us, we gonna beat the law, statutes, commandments into y'all. It say what? And he treaded the wine press, which I spoken of in Isaiah 63. He treaded the wine fat, the wine press, which ultimately is who? Esau, Edom, Babylon the Great, just tying them both just together. He treaded the wine press of the fierceness of the wrath of Almighty, or Alashadi, Yahweh Shemashai. Terrible Alashadi, what? Terrible demon-like power. Right? So, like they said, the people are going to be considered as a wine press. And like you say, you're going to stump them, how you stump the grapes. Blood going to be gushing everywhere. Metaphorically, said, well, literally, but metaphorically, he going to get blood on him. And it said that he have on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And we can leave it right there. So those chariots that you talking about, those UAPs or UFOs, is the chariots that you have by Shemashai, and they come in to render death and destruction. I said I could have went and got 2 Ezra 13, but as a matter of fact, first and foremost, we got what the chariots is coming to do too. We already understand that. Let's just get a little bit more on it. Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord Yahweh Shemashai will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. That fire is going to be what? The thermonuclear warheads and the concentrated laser beams. And with his chariots like a whirlwind, like a destructive force, to render his anger right. He's upset, he's mad with fury in his rebukes with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh Shemashai plead, not beg you, plead meaning shapat, to judge you with all flesh. And they say the slain of the Lord shall be many. When he come back, matter of fact, when he come back, it's gonna be death and destruction. That's what's going. Nothing sweet. What does it say? Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 33. Just get to the point. And the slain of Yahweh Shemashai shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be as dung upon the ground. So when that day of judgment come, man, like I said, it's gonna be, hey, like that song say, let the parties hit the ropes, whatever. Hey, let the bodies hit the flow. That's what that's what's gonna be going on right now. A lot of death and destruction, you know, and and pretty much, matter of fact, like I said, man, you know, let's go ahead. We'll end up over here. I wasn't gonna get Zechariah 5 until like this be the curse, but hey, man, we gonna end up with this, man. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 1. And it came to pass that the 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And behold, and lo, that man, who was that man? Yahushua HaMashiach. He waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance and looked, all the things trembled that was seen under him. Everything going, like they really said, but all shall bow before him. But everything that he look at going to tremble before him. He coming at, man, fierce. His countenance going to be fierce. It ain't gonna be sweet. Right? It say, because he coming for blood. That's what he coming for. He ain't coming to talk and negotiate and have tea. No, he coming to kill people. You know, in righteousness and make war. It say what? Well, judge and make war. It say, and whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire, meaning what? Those concentrated laser beams. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, right? These other nations, the militaries of these other nations, out of number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Ha ha. But I beheld, and lo, he had raised himself a great mountain and flew upon it. So was he actually flying on did he go to the Hindu Kush or the Himalayas and take the mountain and start flying on it? No, it's just giving you a similar outlook on how big and massive this chariot that he came back on, this fathership that he's coming back on. It say, but I have seen the region of where, or a place where the hill was cut out, and I could not. That's how big it was. You couldn't see it. Like, think of what, that Independence Day, that big ass chariot that pulled up. Like, what? That's what I say, that all eyes shall see him. It say at verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid. They're going to be scared. Yet there's fight, but he going to put the spirit on you to fight. You have to pay. You going to have to get down. The angels ain't been, they going to be like, man, you know, like they trying to get down. You know, and you know your house I want to get down, because what do he say? I ain't even going to read it. You can read it. I'm just going to get that part. Isaiah 63 verse 4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart. He meditating on vengeance. And the year of my redeemed is come. He going to pull up. Matter of fact, let's get another one. What do he say? It's a threat and a promise. It say what? Isaiah chapter 47 verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. So, you know, Yahweh Shemashai making Esau bear, exposing him for his wickedness and his shame, right? Everybody seen them, this is the decrepit, wicked ass nigga as they are. It say what? I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. Ooh, he ain't coming back how he came before, how you can harm him and do harm to his body and beat him with a cat of nine tails and spit on him and gouge him and do all this madness to him. No, he ain't gonna be able to do that, player. Because guess what? He coming to vengeance. He coming to go and pay you back for what you did to him and ultimately what you did to us. He's coming to pay you back. The big payback. You feel me? Back at verse 13. So like you're getting a little excited. They say, what? And yet there's fights. So you niggas gonna have to fight. Oh, what Elder Manatazabah from South Carolina say? Oh, you going to World War III, my nigga. You know, y'all gonna fight. It say in lo, verse 9, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth again those laser beams, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flame of breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them every one of them, so that upon of a sudden and of a innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. And whoo, when I saw this, I was afraid. So a man of the Lord seen this and he was afraid. So how much more these people who gonna have to who gonna get set up to fight against you? How about Shemel Shai? Oh, they gonna be devastated, right? Hey, but ultimately, Lord willing, we build elect, so we don't be a part of this massacre that's gonna come, this obliteration, this annihilation gonna come. Lord willing, be able to elect to be a part of the fight, Lord willing, or if not, just ultimately to be saved out of this destruction that's gonna come. But trust and believe, you're gonna have to fight, and it's nearer than when we all believe. So trust and believe that y'all ain't gonna need long to do y'all research and study through the Spirit. We believe it's gonna happen real soon. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to sincere Akim about Akwafim out there listening. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that's pushing the great gospel in sincerity and truth. Shalom, Yasha Allah, Abide,